All right. Matt, the mortgage guy. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the housing market. We all know it's moving fast. We all know that it's changing, and it's a lot different than it was last month, the month before, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. But how much is it changing? How much fear, uncertainty, and doubt can you let media and other folks pump into you? In this video, I'm going to get into it. Love me some Patrick Bet-David, but man, even this guy is not too big to pump fear, uncertainty, and doubt for clicks. Stay tuned. I'll talk more about it. All right, Matt, the mortgage guy, residential mortgage broker. Work with folks day in and day out. Work with buyers of real estate, work with real estate agents, work with all the affiliates involved. So I have a pretty good feel for what's going on in the real estate market. And while some of the stuff you're hearing may be true, I'm going to make this video just so that some people that don't know any better, quite frankly, don't get too spooked by some of the stuff that's out there. Because the spookier it is, the more clicks it gets. I watched something today by Patrick Bet-David. Love and respect this guy. This guy is doing amazing stuff, putting out amazing content on valuetainment. But be careful, because little pieces of what he's talking about, if you don't know what to listen for, what to compare it to, it sounds a lot scarier than it truly is. So first and foremost, in the video he put out today, another 2008 housing crash, or worse, real estate bubble explained. This title and some of the stuff he puts in the video, no doubt will get hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of views. And while some of the stuff he talks about is credible, we are in a changing environment. We are in a real estate market that's changing every day. There's going to be opportunity. There's going to be, some markets that might see a decline in price by 5 or 10%. There's going to be other markets that go flat. The amount of hysteria that you can create when you spin up foreclosure numbers like he did, unwarranted, in my humble opinion. So I thought about going through the whole video. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to keep it short and just give you like 2 highlights. First and foremost, he talked about mortgage, which I'm in the mortgage industry, so I know this, I think, rather well. And he shared some numbers there, some of it for dramatic effect, right? Like rate and term refinances are down 93% year on year. Well, no shit. Rates have gone from 3% to 6%. There's nobody who's sitting in a 7.5% looking to get a rate and term. So no surprise, they're down 93%. Overall, mortgage applications are down, pulled down a ton because there's a lot less demand for refinances. But even on the purchase side, it might be down. It might be there's only 5.1 million transactions done this year on the real estate side. And for mortgage folks, we're going to be more purchase focused, doing a lot more purchase than refinance. But by no stretch of the imagination are the best mortgage companies going out of business, right? The best mortgage brokers, the best mortgage companies are alive and thriving. And, maybe I'm at 80% capacity of what I was doing last year from a volume standpoint. But some of the stats that he talked about where he said, everybody's down 80% because refinance is down 80%. Not the case, right? And in his example, he said if mortgage brokers were making $50,000 a month, now they're making 10, they're making $20,000 a month, now they're making 4. Not really the case in the real world, right? A lot of us are at about 80% of what we were doing last year if we're focused on the right things, adding value, working with real estate agents, and being purchase focused. So on to the next thing, and I'll share a little clip from him here. He brought up Dave Ramsey because there's 2 sides to this real estate coin. Probably real estate agents and probably Dave Ramsey. Everything's fine. Homes are the cheapest right now that they'll be in the next 5 years. I won't even agree with that, right? From Dave Ramsey, that we might not see a small correction where home prices get flat or go down 5 or 10%, because we are hitting turbulent waters where interest rates have gone up. That has pulled back demand. Inventory starts to pile up because things sit longer. So I'm not going to say that must buy now, home prices will only go up. That's Dave Ramsey's talk track. And on the other side, you have the fear-mongering folks that are saying that we're in for a humongous correction worse than 2008. So I'll add this video that he put out to the stream. We'll listen to 30 or 45 seconds of him talking about Dave Ramsey's stuff, and then we'll hear my 2 cents on my thoughts on this.
Prices goes down. This is not a good sign to look at when it comes up to value.
He's talking about inventory going up.
So the next thing to take a look at is active listings, which Dave Ramsey, who said, this fear porn, all this stuff that he says, he says, it's not a big deal, maybe a little bit. It's not going to happen, nothing over 5 years, which, by the way, 5 years, he may be right that nothing's really going to happen over 5 years, but we're talking today. Okay, we're talking today when, hey, I want to buy.
At least he agrees on that. Long term, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, real estate, a great investment. Applaud you on that, David, even though that fear porn that Dave Ramsey is talking about, you get into it here and later in the video.
My house right now, you may want to wait another year till you buy a house. Just watch this data here and you make a decision for yourself. So this is from realtor.com showing active listings, and you'll see the different colors represent different years: 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I want you to focus on 2022 all the way at the bottom, which is yellow. You'll see the active listings in January goes down. If it goes down, property value goes higher because there is less inventory for you to buy a house. For example, if I make an offer on a house here and I'm saying I want to buy a house that's close to this schooling because I want to send my kids to this private school, and my realtor says there's only 2 houses in this market with a swimming pool, I don't have a lot of options. There's only 2 homes. If there was 50, I can negotiate and say, if you don't give it to me at this price, I'll go over there. But if it's only 2, they're going to get 50 offers because 50 people are fighting to get that one house. The seller's in charge. But if listing was 50, the buyer is in charge. Make sense? So look at the numbers. January to February, inventory goes down. This is good.
Okay, he's zoomed in here, so I'm going to give my 2 cents, right? What he's saying is true, but we have to look at what the graph really tells us. Inventory has been at historic lows. There's been so much demand pumped into the system because rates are 2.5% to 3% on a primary residence. So 2020 and 2021, these other 2 lines that are down here in this territory are outliers. It went black and white in this, and the last one, it was color coded, but I'll promise you, these are 20 and 21, these numbers, and then 17, 18, and 19, quote unquote, normal years, non-COVID years, are up here. So inventory is going up. Agreed. July, August, September, up here, right? We're going to get up here above 1 million active listings, which is great. It's a healthy housing market. It's more in line with what's normal. From where we're at, wild and crazy, stuff disappearing within 7 days of being listed, going above list, that game is over. We'll go back towards normal. Prices will level out. Already we're seeing the price reductions, which isn't necessarily a price decrease, right? You got to know how to differentiate between those two. If something gets listed at 580 that should be listed at 540 and it sells for 535, that's not that prices are dropping, right? And that things are down 20%. It's that the unrealistic seller and their agent pegged it at 580 when they should have started at 530 or 540. So anyhow, this is something that's a return to normal when it comes to inventory. If this thing goes up 9,000% and we're way up here with 2 million active listings, then I'm concerned we're going to drop 10, 15, 20% on home prices. If we get up towards normal, we'll be in a normal market that's stuff not appreciating by 25% every year, 0 to 5%. Or worst case scenario, some sort of correction where we see a 5-10% reduction in price, but nowhere near the gloom and doom projections that the real estate market's going to fall by 60%. Get out of town with that. One last thing here, because this one is the true fear porn that you were warned about. And even my boy, Patrick Bet David, I'm sorry. I was thinking Dave Ramsey and PBD all in one and mix those two up. But listen to this one. I'll explain to you why this is so ridiculous.
6 months from now, maybe next year. What would you
talking about foreclosures?
Increasing percentage of foreclosures that we have in 2022 compared to last year, same time. What do you think the increase is? 20% more foreclosures? 40% more foreclosures?
He's leading up to this. He's got that music in the background that's kind of scary. Hint, before we hear his answer about how much foreclosures have increased, there was a foreclosure. Was it called moratorium? You couldn't foreclose. Foreclosures were down the last couple of years because they weren't allowed in a lot of markets. Stay tuned, though. This is going to sound dramatic. It's going to sound really scary.
60% more foreclosures? Wow, it's not going to be 100%.
How many? Tell me.
We have 700% more foreclosures this year, same time than we did last year. Let me say that one more time. 700%. 23,204.
23,000 foreclosures, according to Adam data, right? Now, here is the punchline. This 700% increase, the sky is falling. I can't believe it is happening, right? This is a crazy number. Guess what the average number of foreclosures across time is? 2019, 2018, 2017, normal markets. How many people foreclose on a monthly basis? Just due to whatever circumstance there is. The number is 50,000. So the 23,000, which is a 700% increase, which is very scary. It means the sky is falling, is half of the average. We're comparing data today versus data when foreclosures weren't allowed for the most part. Just like if you compare August of 19 to August of 20, there's an 81% decrease in foreclosures. You think in August of 2020, a few months into a pandemic, people felt really warm and fuzzy, everything was great? No, they were scared out of their minds. But people weren't foreclosing because there was moratoriums in place. You could not foreclose. So I could have stood up on stage and say, you know what? Foreclosures in my town, down 81%. We are strong. This pandemic will not affect us. No, it's moratoriums in place. You can't do it, right? And so those numbers got down to 10,000 a month or even lower. Then even lower as they just weren't allowed. So when 23,000 comes out and it's up 700%, it's up from nothing, right? I don't know. Take it for what you will. The real estate market is changing. I won't deny that. We have more and more inventory building because stuff is taking longer to sell. Demand is being pulled down, mostly due to interest rates going up and affordability issues with folks. So we're in a changing market. We're in a market that is evening out. Sellers no longer have a stranglehold on things and can demand whatever they want with no contingencies from buyers. Buyers in 2022 and most likely in 2023 are going to have more and more leverage. Go out there and get their offers accepted. It's a great time to be a buyer because of that. Make sure that you get yourself fully pre-approved. You know exactly what you're getting into. Your finances are in order. Your budget's in order. You know what you can afford. You're fully pre-approved, and go out there and buy yourself a house. Do not listen to all the fear mongering, please. Like I showed here, even my boy PDBD, which I like him a lot, is not too big to go out there and share some crazy stats like 700% increase in foreclosures. If you're looking to get pre-approved, go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the form, let us know where you're at, how we can help. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.